Hi guys, it's Chris, back in the cider shed with lots of cider. Some Gregg's Pit in a box I've got up here as well. You noticed that? That's pretty cool. So when I was at Gregg's Pit on Thursday, I went through all the fermenters with James. We tried everything, and I selected this one and this one to go into bagging box. And I sold half of it already today at the market. Had a massive day at the market today, bigger than last Christmas for me, in fact. So yeah, things are going good. I'm going to have to hire a bigger van and go back and get even more cider. Which again isn't a bad problem to have, but you know, I thought I'd got loads of stuff, but I certainly haven't. So I'm going to have to think bigger, I think, going forwards. Anyway, on that note, going to try cider. Going to try a 2019 vintage cider, and all of those 2019 vintages, if they've been aged, you know, long term through the winter months, as is traditional, will be getting into bottle roundabout now and getting released roundabout now. And so the one I've got is indeed Gregg's Pit. So there you go, Gregg's Pit, and there's his lovely label, carved by a local woodcutter to where he lives. And there it is. This is what we're going to try. We're going to try 2019 brown Snout, Chisel Jersey, and white close Pippin. The 2017 of this was one of my favourite ciders, full stop, ever. Absolutely loved it. Was a bit sad when it disappeared. Didn't have any from the 2018. So let's give this a go. Haven't opened. This is literally the first time I've tried it. I got back last night with a van full of cider, some of which I've tried, most of which I haven't had a chance to try. This being one of them, so I'm just going to get on with it. It's kind of cold. Don't know how carbonated this is, so maybe it'll blow up in me, on my face, in me. Might blow up in me or on me, or whatever. So here we go. Let's undo this cap and see what we got. It's one of the best things about things like this, like vintages. And actually today on the market, I was saying to people, oh, it's a new vintage, and people just couldn't get their brains around the fact that, in fact, cider had a vintage. And I kept saying, well, cider is wine. Cider, I mean, it is wine. It's not just a gimmick. It's fruit juice that's fermented into an alcoholic beverage. You know, but the difference is you're fermenting apple juice and pressing apples rather than fermenting grape juice and pressing grapes. So let's have a look. Let's get this off. So far, so good. Let's try and get this out. Okay, not too bad. Nice sound. So that's obviously carbonated. Nice bit of fizz coming up there, so you can see that. Right then, here we go. So, James, if you get to watch this, thank you so much for this. Right, guys, let's pour it out. Have a look. So, bottle conditioned. And look at the mousse on that straight away. Bottle conditioned. So this is like pet nat, effectively. So they bottle it. The gravity goes down, the sugar goes down, and when they get to a certain level, they'll then bottle it with a certain amount of sugar left in there, which will then carry on the fermentation in the bottle and produce your fizz. So naturally sparkling, so not forced carbonated. And it gives you a finer bubble and quite a different thing. So, as with all James XE, unfiltered, as you can see, hazy. That kind of, I like to think of that as like a marmalade sort of gold. That sort of colour, marmalade amber kind of thing. That's just my own personal terminology. That's why. So anyway, so that's the colour of it. Just see a little bit through, but it's pretty hazy. That. Okay, let's stick our noses in the glass. Give it a sniff. All right, straight away. So this is a Keith cider. I'm not going into that too much because I've talked about it before. But that means there's going to be some residual sugar from the apple left in the beverage. Think Normandy, think Brittany. It's French ciders. They're pretty much all Keeved. That's the style. I was talking to James about this actually, and the thing about Perry pears is they are difficult. I want to talk about Perry pears. I will talk about Perry pears actually just for a second. We're talking about this single variety Perry that he does up here, the green label, and it's from Thorn. And he was saying, you know, why do people make cider more than Perry? Well, actually, with the Thorn, and I think this is true of a lot of pears, you can't press them till they've physically dropped off the tree, but they don't drop off the tree simultaneously, like all at once. Boom. So you have to go back every day, and collect the pears that have fallen, collect the pears that have fallen, take them back. So it's a labour-intensive job. So making something like this, Jesus Christ, it takes a lot of effort and commitment on behalf of the of the cider maker, perry maker, if you like. Yeah, so this guy, James Marsden, is a brilliant cider maker, committed to his craft, really like him. No oak for any of this, pure fruit, wild yeast. You get what you get. You know, it's all about the fruit, and we put so much effort into the fruit. You know, he wants it to be, you know, front and centre. So on the nose, yeah. So like the French ciders, you get like a baked. It's like a baked apple, a buttery baked apple. I'm getting on the nose here. Little bit of funk, tiny bit though, not a lot. Just a hint, like volcanic sulfury kind of element, which I like a lot. Yeah, definitely like a subtle brown sugar, but that baked apple thing, definitely there. Slight butteriness to it as well. So this will have some residual sugar because it's keeved. How much, I don't know. So let's try it. Let's try it. Cheers. Okay, so quite low sugar. I mean, there's some sugar in there, but it's very low. It's quite delicate. There is like a buttery character, obvious sort of butteriness in my palate straight away. Very light tannins on the teeth. So this isn't as acid as the 2017. 2017 version had almost like a sherbety kind of character to it, sherbet acidity. It's got less of that, much more sort of apple skin, I would say. I love the nose. It smells like pastry. I think apple strudel is the thing that comes to mind most when I try these sorts of things. So, this is different to the last vintage, as it always will be. More mineral, drier. There's acid there, but it's low. I am getting like almost a breadiness as well, actually. But on the nose, it's much more like ta-ta-ta. On the palate, it's almost got a bready character to it, I would say. Also on the nose, I'm getting like almost like a caramel burnt sugar character as well. More appley this, more pure apple, and more like an apple skin character. The nose and the palate are slightly more disconnected than they were with the last vintage, where what you smelled was much more what you got with this. The nose smells sweeter, richer. On the palate, it's drier and less acid, but still great for quaffing. I mean, he doesn't make bad cider, this guy. Every year it's good. It's just how good is it going to be? What's it going to taste like? You know, I think when I choose ciders, I tend to choose, rather than choose individual ciders, what I tend to choose are cider makers. Put a lot of research into finding cider makers that are interesting and suit my palate, and then approach them. And then when I go there, I can confidently say, give me that, give me that, give me that. I'm not going to try it. I trust you. You know, that's what I do with all the cider makers I work with. Particularly with cider makers, Ross and Y is a great example because they do so many different things that you kind of have to trust them. You can't try everything, and they go through their individual batches so quickly that by the time you've gone back again, they've probably sold out the thing you had last time. So then you have to try something new. So you have to trust them to tell you what's good. So there you go. Happy 2019/2020. Yeah, new cider from Gregg's Pit. I've also got his new Perry, and I will try that as well. But I've got so many things to try. I'm probably going to go through some other things before I come back to a Gregg's Pit, just to give everything a fair crack of the whip. I mean, some of this stuff from Comadic, the Betty Prosser, I'd really like to get into that. Some more of the new Ross and Y. I haven't tried their new Perry yet, which I got. Really want to get into that. I haven't tried the Michelin French Oak Cask from them. Really want to get into that. So yeah, lots to try. So we have a lot of videos. Anyway, I seem a bit hyper, don't I? I guess I was quite excited. And also, I've got a load of Comté cheese in my fridge because I got loads of bits cut to take with me to Herefordshire and Somerset to give out to the cheesemakers. And I left at 5:30 on Thursday morning and left it in the fridge. So I got lots of Comté. So I thought, well, screw it. Let's use it for one of these tastings. So we'll have some Comté with the next cider, perhaps. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.